a person in the sport and a supporter of what we're doing, both here and in the UK as well. We've got a gentleman named Professor Daniel Torres on our advisory board. Really great guy. He literally called me yesterday while I was at the beach with my family. And
how dare he interrupt you while you're at the beach? What's up with him? What's up
well,
with
you know
Torres?
what? Here's the thing. I'm so honored by the involvement of these people.
Right.
I pretty much don't care when they call me. I'm just honored to have them involved with us. And I literally was standing in waist-deep water. I forgot that I had my license and my business cards in my bathing suit pocket, and I was in waist-deep water holding one of my kids' hands, against the force of the waves, talking to him for about an hour. And until my battery was running down, and I said, I'm really sorry, Professor Torres, but these waves are getting louder, and I can't hear you so well anymore. So, but he's a great guy. He's a 9th degree black belt in V Jiu-Jitsu. Mm-hmm. He has his own Dantor Ruse Jiu-Jitsu system. He works with the Florida State Boxing Commission. He's a kickboxing and MMA referee and judge in Florida, also in Puerto Rico, mm-hmm. Where he's working on some big things over there. Great man, and as well. We've got just a few others. I'll run through them. One is Papa John Gorman, who is definitely an honor to have working with us. He is the commissioner of USA Jiu-Jitsu.
Papa John.
And all of our members, and that is it's an aspect that I should touch on too in a moment. But we do have the sites available to everybody, but we also have paid membership into the MMA Fight Council community. And that affords a whole slew of benefits, one of which is a membership into USA Jiu-Jitsu. So he is with us. Okay. And also a real honor is we have Carlos Machado on our advisory board. He's not yet showing on our site. That's part of the revision that's upcoming. Mm-hmm. But Carlos Machado is a direct. He's related to the Gracie family, mm-hmm. and he's a Gracie-trained 8th degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's quite legendary in his ability to teach and even just in practicing of the art. So he's with us as well. And then another honor, and a different kind of a name than you've heard so far, we have a woman on our advisory board whom I'm so honored to have. She's just such a great addition, mm-hmm. Dr. Sherry Wolkin. Okay. She is a longtime ringside physician. She's been in probably 80, 90, 100 MMA events where she's been the ringside physician responsible for the well-being of the fighters. She's also the medical chair on the committee that Nick Lembo heads, the committee that has come up with the unified rules for MMA. So she's intricately involved in the sport as a real insider who really is connected and really has a passion. She's even been training for about 14 years now in the martial arts.
You see, the MMA Fight Council is not just for guys, for women too, so get on board the train.
No kidding. I mean, we didn't want to have a woman on the board just to have a woman on the board, but we wanted to have the right people on the board, and she's one of the right people. And
well, you're not just putting people on there haphazardly. You're putting select people on there that serve a purpose.
That's absolutely right. That's correct. And we've talked with a couple of others. We're probably only, I think there's just one more spot to be filled, and if it doesn't get filled, well, we're fine where we are. We also are developing rapidly. I cannot believe that I almost neglected to mention one of the legends, the absolute legends that's on our advisory board. The only one that I didn't mention yet is Ron Van Cleef.
How dare you forget Ron Van Cleef?
No, I was saving the best for last, actually.
There you go. No, I know you. I mean, but that was something recent that transpired, so everyone knows. So yes. Ron Van Cleef, the Black Dragon, good guy, just an all-around good guy.
He definitely is, and so we're honored to have him. He's now a longtime New Yorker, lifelong, but now taking up residence in the Virgin Islands, where, as is his style, he sat down with the local government leaders and ensured that MMA is now approved in the Virgin Islands.
Nice.
And is working on having MMA promotions, fights take place down there as well, because that's just what he does.
And just to give a little more tidbit on Ron Van Cleef, in case anyone, there's a lot of entertainment people, actors and models, just the community itself listen to the show, just so people understand that Ron Van Cleef, one of his top students is Timac. He was Ty Mock.
Right.
He was the star of The Last Dragon, which I think they're going to wind up doing something with that. But just to give you some clarity on Ron Van Cleef. Now you can go to the next level of or the next topic you were going to touch on.
Absolutely. And so so that gives a little bit of background regarding, who's supporting us. And, we just feel like we have the support of the martial arts and mixed martial arts community at large. And let me just make a point that if you were really listening carefully to the people I was describing, you might come away thinking, well, gee, there's a lot of martial artists there, as well as mixed martial artist related people, and what's the deal with that? Well, I think a couple of things really are noteworthy here. One is that, and I don't mean to sound cliche, but I like saying this because it's so true. There's no MMA without MA. There's no mixed martial arts without martial arts, and I think I really, to me, that's very important that especially the younger fans of MMA understand. I think those of us that have been watching for a while or have studied martial arts, I think we realize it's a mixture, it's a synthesis of martial arts. That's really that's what we love.
With mixed martial arts, in a nutshell, way back when, you had, traditional martial arts, karate, taekwondo, tang soo do, you had, kung fu, you have all different styles of martial arts, including jiu-jitsu, judo, and so on and so forth. Okay, now you had Thai boxing, you have kickboxing, that's in the U.S., you had Thai boxing overseas. What transpired over time is that people, just like, and I keep touching on this in regards to mixed martial arts, but people could say, probably the greatest mixed martial artist, that probably sparked all the fusion, because that's the word, fusion of styles, is Bruce Lee. No matter what anyone says, that is a fact, because he took the best out of different styles to make it into his own thing, but can go on the ground, fight you standing up, fight you here, fight you there. Mixed martial arts, what is it? It started out as a brawl in a ring, like the Roman gladiators, but it built up and progressed that you don't just have that. There's technique there, there's grappling, there are things there, so actually it evolved into its own sport. Okay, and it evolved into something greater than what it was, because years ago, let's go back 15 years, it was like, okay, we're gonna go in this octagon, and we're gonna go in this ring, and I'm gonna punch your teeth down your throat, and that's it. That's why you have a guy like Kimbo Slice. Is he talented as a martial artist? No. But can he go and brawl? He's a brawler. Yes, you have like Butterbean. He's a boxer, brawler, whatever he is. But then you have the Gracies, which are you have talent. You have Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz. You have guys that are out there that are talented, that go in there, they can go in, they can cause damage, but they have skills associated with it. And I just wanted to touch on that. Even Bass, I just wanted to touch on that so that people that are listening to this really get a good idea of what has transpired over the past decade or two.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's so important for people to understand, for sure. So I'm glad that you did. And you know what? If you don't mind, I even want to just mention,
sure.
Before moving too much further on, that regarding Ron Van Cleef. I've admired and respected him for many, many years. People may not realize, some of the longer term fans do, but back at UFC 4, he fought as a fighter in the cage, in the octagon, against Royce Gracie.
That's right.
Now, people may not remember that, or if they do, they may not have realized he was 51 years old when he did that. He didn't win the fight, but I'll tell you what, he probably lasted longer than anybody had against Royce Gracie at that point.
Came out like Apollo Creed.
yeah, no joke. He really, really did. And, just lots of respect to him now. And then he was even made the commissioner of the UFC after that for some time, which was incredible. It was a real honor, but it's because of his passion. Now, I point all that out because there's so much about Ron Van Cleef that I didn't even realize that I think many people don't. He has a documentary coming out, an autobiographical documentary coming out later on in September.
Yep, that's right.
That when people hear about it, I really hope you'll tune in to watch it, see it. I've actually seen it. He was kind enough to give me a copy of it, and it's incredible. I won't spill the beans, but there are things about his life that will blow your mind that you never knew. And